Welcome to the B6.
Welcome to the B6. Finally on the bus, man. Bus
Let's
can't run a little late today, but we got it.
We on it, man. Let's get right into it. So this topic, future me, um, I don't know, man. I feel like 2024 is a crazy year for me, man. So I'm like trying to devote myself to like just try to work on a better self, like better physically. I feel like I'm kind of fat right now. Like my weight is off. Mentally, I'm off. Emotionally, spiritually, everything, I'm off. So like, man, I said to myself, I gotta take this rest of the year just to just work on myself. So call this episode "Future Me," and I saw this quote, and I said, makes sense to me. So it says, "Success is something you attract. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you it's something you attract by becoming attractive." So
There's a lot of ugly people out there, man.
yeah, but like, what does that mean to you? Like something you attract by becoming attractive. So what it says to me is like, if I'm working on myself, if I'm in good shape, or if I'm like learning a lot of stuff, if I'm like, being alert and knowledgeable, like success is gonna find me.
Yeah.
So um for you though, like, how do you see your future self? Like, what are you attracted in your life? Like, what are you working on? Like, what's gonna come to you?
Uh, well, I'm still working on the future me. So that's a really good question, and I think it ties into later on with that movie. That shit was funny. You text me. I hope you. I hope you got. I hope you got a
Uh,
reason why you picked this movie. But anyway, I got a couple of things I need to work on. So, I know better things will come our way once you just make the small little changes. That's what you got to do. I mean, things like what you saying. You don't feel you don't feel the energy. You feel like something's missing. I guess is what you were saying. But you just got to work on just the little things. Little things will turn into bigger things, and before you know it, you don't see changes. Other people will. Just like when you go to the gym, work out, and you're just doing it. Feel like there's no change, and then before you know it, somebody that's looking at you, um, all overall, they can see the changes faster than sometimes you can.
yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. Working out is the easiest when you're talking about being attractive, but like being attractive not only physically but everything else. Because it's like
Well,
going
yeah.
to school.
Well, I
Like
was using the gym
yeah, yeah,
as a
that's the easiest
but
example because it's like almost not the easiest thing to do, but yeah, if you work out, you probably a lot of different things you're gonna attract probably a good looking woman coming on to you. You might attract just
not even
better health. Like
not even that. I mean, people go to the gym not to be attractive. I guess looks wise, like physical
yeah,
appearance. You know, because you can't change a look, but you can change a physique. So I've had people in passing smile or give me a look like, "Hey, you really going at it?" Um, and vice versa. I might not go directly to them, but I can go and look and say, "Okay, I see this person every day, and they're here for this amount of time. They got a goal in mind." You know, but if we're just doing the same thing, you know, you get used to that. But when you start seeing something different than what they're used to seeing all the time, it's just like you're supposed to be there. They look at it, you know what I mean?
but what is it that we want, bro? Like, what is it that we want to attract? Like I know if you know if I go to school and study something, eventually I'm going to either get a job or better myself in that field because I'm learning, studying that particular field. Um,
Hmm.
spiritually, if I'm like devoting myself to God or like studying the Bible or going to church, you should be,
Well,
spiritually better.
I think we use asking like, who do we want to attract? I mean,
success. I
You
want to
will,
track success.
right. And
So
successful people will gravitate to you when they see that you putting the work in because they know they already put the work in. Because you got to understand, successful people attract more than just other successful people. They attract leeches, people that just want the free ride. Uh, but you got to be able to wean that out. But the successful people will see something in you, knowing that you're trying to be successful, and they'll bring you along the way.
yes, I don't know if I want. I don't think I need anybody to bring. It'd be nice to have help, right? But like I don't need. I don't want someone to bring me along the way. I just want
Well,
to
look,
figure out what I want to figure out, like in order to be successful.
I think
Like
I think
there's levels to success because
right.
some people might be looking at you like, for example, like say you're a big. Let's go back to the weight because that's the easiest thing to for an example. Let's say you're a lot heavier and you
Hmm.
get to the weight that you are now. You look at yourself like, man, I need to get smaller. But somebody might look at you like, yo, I wish I had your physique. I wish I had your size. Like
Hmm.
people have told me that a lot of times, like, man, I'm working, I'm trying to get smaller. And they're like, man, I wish I was your size. I wish I had your weight. I'm like, bro, that's not success to me. Like, I want to get abs. I want to be ripped. So that's a different level of success. So I guess it might be
You have to change your surroundings, I guess. And that's not, I'm not just saying for you, I'm just saying in general. So let's say, like even for me, I'm in somewhat in shape. But if I want to get to that next level, I probably should be around people that's on another level above me. And then you also have to watch how you approach the person that you're trying to be around because they are also got their guards up and like, okay, what is your intention? Are you just trying to feed off of my success? Or are you really trying to put in the work? Because I can easily tell you what you need to do to get to that next level. And I'm not just talking about working out. I'm talking about anything. You know, you got to put in the work. Some people just want the automatic success or the automatic next level, just like a billionaire, a millionaire, and somebody that doesn't have nowhere close to a million, and they say, "Hey, I want to get to your level. I want to do that." Some
you
people
know,
ask, and some people say, "Can you just give it to me?"
see, I never thought about like I never said to myself, yo, I want to make $1 million. Are you ever like is that like a goal that you want to do? Like make a million? I probably made $1 million at some point in my life. I've been around long enough, like as far as not to see everything, just the accumulation of working all these years and
Absolutely, you've seen a million, you went
right.
through it, but
Yeah, I'm just saying, but I never said to myself, I want to see 1 million in my bank account. I mean, is that something that we should be like? Is that like a goal that we should have? Like a first goal, like the goal is to see 1 million or retire with 1 million. What is that a goal of yours or what do you think about that?
I don't know
It's like
because
what do you want? What's your success? You want 2 houses? You want like to be six pack? Like what is you want to?
I want it all, man. Who doesn't want all of that? I don't think anybody you ask that question to, hey,
Wait,
you
are
want
you working towards all of that?
well, the first step for anybody to do that, you got to be ready mentally, and you got to be prepared, ready to put that work in. Just like with the abs, yeah, I want it, but I think to get to that next step or to get there,
Yeah.
what's holding people back is they know they got to put that work in.
Do you work hard enough to get the six
No,
pack,
no.
or do you want the six pack?
Me personally, I'll put my cards on the table and I encourage everybody to look within themselves and say the truth, which is no. You know,
I,
people will say, yeah, quick. Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, I went to the gym every day. But what did you do at the gym?
so
You know what I mean?
the easiest thing is which is not easy, but it's not easy. None of it is easy. The physical is not easy. Being emotionally like good is not easy. Spiritually good is not. Nothing is easy. Nothing great comes easy, right?
Right.
So like the abs, I don't definitely. You work harder than me with the abs. The only thing I do is play basketball on Fridays and go walking on the weekends with my wife. I'm not eating as good as I should. And when I just came back from vacation, I felt like I gained like 10 pounds because I did a lot more eating. I'm like, man,
Right.
now everything else is going downhill for me. Now physically, I'm not where I want to be. So I have a weight that I said every time I go over this weight, then I know I need to go back to the gym hard because like I don't want to be over like 180. So every time I see the number over 180, I'm like, damn, I gotta get back to it. So I have a weight range all my life that I always like try to stick to. So anything over 180 for me is a little heavier than I want to be. And my back started having more issues. And I feel everything. My ring started being tighter to come off my hand, my finger. My back, my lower back start to hurt more when I do little physical things. That's just every time I'm over 180. So like I know this year so far, it's not going great for me. So I know I need to take a step back. I'm trying to listen to more audio books, during my downtime when I'm in the car, all the hours I be in my car, trying to like improve myself, take stuff to help me enhance. Even went back to church a couple, last week, just trying to figure out a way. And I ain't gonna talk too much about it, but it's something else I want to add to it, and I'm gonna get your perspective. It's in our notes, so I mean it shouldn't be a secret to you unless you didn't read our notes. You know what I mean? But
I did. I did.
I'm still I was like I still want to hear some goals, man. I'll share some goals of mine, man, like from you. But like I know, like financially, I'm okay. We're okay as a family, but it's like I want to be better, right? So, I want to have not really a dollar amount. My thing is I want to be what's the word projecting to that amount. So it's like I don't all my years being on earth, man, I've learned fast money ain't good money, right?
Oh
So I
yeah,
mean,
definitely.
so whether it's whatever you're doing, if you're getting it quick, it's probably not gonna last, and it's probably gonna lead to trouble
Bad
or losing
decisions.
bad decision or losing big or whatever. It don't have to be illegal, but fast
Right.
money, trying to get rich quick, a lot of
Who you
those
telling?
stuff, man, a lot of us done so much of those try to get rich quick stuff, man. Like somebody say, oh man, if you invest this or do put your money here, you're gonna get millions of dollars couple months or whatever it is, some crazy amount. It's like it never ends well. So it never ends well. Fast money, try to get money quick. Those schemes, those pyramid schemes, a lot of those I've learned. Even if there's one that worked, I'm not on that. I'm not on that. The
Right.
Bitcoin stuff, everybody's on Bitcoin. Great. I'm not saying don't be on Bitcoin, but I'm saying, you got to build.
Right.
Like I rather get my portfolio right, get my like investments, my retirements. Like we're at that age, we're at that point in our life that we should be having retirement money like stacking up or accumulating. We should be investing wisely.
Right.
So it's like I need to make sure I'm taking advantage of all of the things that's out there
Mm-hmm.
that's afforded to me. Like I have to make sure I have like a Roth IRA, make sure your 401k is good, you're investing in mutual funds, safe investments. You're paying off your house. Um, you're buying another house. It's like these are things I want to make sure that I get everything done that I'm supposed to be done. There's things that we just don't know about, so we don't do it. I want to make sure I know about everything. I
Right.
want to make sure that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Make sure I have my what you call that thing a trust. Everybody's talking about making sure you have a trust. I'm learning from my mother. Like if you don't have a trust, there's a lot of things that's going to go to the courts, and you're going to lose out on a lot of money that you could have just have if you had a trust. So I don't have a trust set up yet for my kids, but I need one. So all our you know possessions or whatever will go straight to them without any kind of like courts being involved and anybody taking money that doesn't belong to them, like Uncle Sam and stuff like that. But just making sure I have everything, not like I'm preparing to die or anything, but like I have to prepare for like the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Like you got to prepare now for that. You can't wait 20 years from now to start preparing for 20 years from now.
Right.
So I just feel like I need to up my game. I feel like I need to get better at everything.
Gotcha. So you said for right now, because you're still saying I got to work to do that. What steps are you making besides you said you have a trust, but you got to work for the kids? Is there anything that we could move on from and say, okay, well, you are leading to do better?
Yeah, I mean, I've a lot of what I said is like I've already done, but I need to do more. Like just say I'm putting away.
So what's the next level for you then?
To do more and to find out stuff that I'm not doing. Like I don't know if I'm doing everything.
And how are you going to get to the next level to get to be able to do that?
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share it later on in the show, but we're gonna move on to a segment called "Are You Getting Off the Bus?"
Okay.
Are you ready? So this first one, this one is, did he do it?
Oh my God.
Did he do it?
Yeah, you know when you first said that in the notes, I was like, "Oh shit, that's good, that's catchy." But I heard somebody else say it, man.
Yeah, that's where I got it from. It's all over the social media.
It's all over, man.
Everybody's talking about
I feel
CNN all over the everywhere.
I got mixed feelings about it all, man, because
what do you know about it? Like, let's get whatever facts we can. Like, what do you know to be factual? What's going on? Tell us what's going on.
Well, I feel
not what you feel, but what the media is saying is happening to Diddy right now.
The media is saying anything and everything that you could think about.
What is he in trouble for?
He could be R. Kelly 2.0.
I'm hearing sex trafficking.
That's what I'm saying. That R. Kelly was sex trafficking. The only difference is R. Kelly was doing it with young girls. Diddy could be him doing it with young boys and men. And on top of that, that's why I say he's 2.0, is because R. Kelly has had a streak of just young women or young girls. That's all he's been accused with. And it was never drugs, never alcohol. It was young girls through his whole career. And everybody did a blind eye to it, or he was acquitted from all charges. And then, the thing about social media is that when it's at its highest high and nobody convicts you, we'll throw jokes at it and we won't say much, and then it'll die out, because he was accused years ago. I'm talking about R. Kelly. And then another one came out. And now with social media, it's hard for anybody to just sweep anything under the bridge. So there's a lot of people that's getting in trouble for different things. And you can't do nothing about it, because everybody platform is accessible, which is social media. I could throw a little jab here and here, and then before you know it, you got 10 billion jabs, and now somebody has to do something. And I think that's what happened with P. Diddy. It was always little small jokes about maybe he's possibly doing this, or he said this. The little clip that everybody keeps playing. Oh, I like the way you do that, Daddy. I like when you bend down like that. Like, oh, whoa, what are you talking about?
Fabulous.
No, I don't know who he talking to, but he was saying
Okay.
something to another male, like I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when you down on you
Well,
get down like that.
the thing is, yeah, it's levels. So like being gay, whatever. Like, you
And
know,
that's the thing. If this is a segment towards what we was doing before, that shit don't matter. And to me, it doesn't matter to an extent. It doesn't matter because if he's gay, so what? But if you're doing or you're forcing people to do something because you have
uh,
power and money, is when it becomes a problem.
yeah. So that's when you get off the bus. So that's the segment. Is are you going to get off the bus for it, or are you going to stay on the bus? So it's like, are you getting off the bus?
Nah, the only
But
sad
before we decide, there's a lot more with this did he do it thing, man. Like I've heard, like you said, we've heard people talk in the past about Diddy and his ways, or stay away from those Diddy parties.
all
Like
right.
there was, you heard a lot of that before this happened, before it came to
Mm-hmm.
this result, and nobody really, to me, nobody really spoke up strong enough, man. I remember with R. Kelly, like only person I've ever heard publicly come out and say something about R. Kelly was Funk Master Flex. He went strong. And he was like the way he went, people I think he got backlash for how he came out strongly against R. Kelly, but he was basically saying, calling him out and saying, yo, we don't mess with you like that. But nobody was publicly saying that. And I was taken aback of like how strong he was. I never knew the extent of what R. Kelly was doing. So now what Funk Master Flex said made make a lot of sense. People make jokes, 50 Cent make jokes, some comedians make jokes about Diddy, but nobody is coming out strongly and saying anything about Diddy, which I don't necessarily blame them now because he's being attacked now, but I'm talking about earlier, like when the guys said stay away from the Diddy party. I think that's strong, not strong enough, but that's a warning that he should warn everybody, like, yo, that's, but how do you speak up against a billionaire? Like he could stop a lot of things. He could stop your
To,
career. Like he
to,
could like stop you from becoming whatever you want to become because he's a billionaire. He have access to all these resources. But you wanted
to
to say something?
yeah, so there's different ways to look at it. Like I mean, just like when what frustrates me is when somebody's been accused for something and nothing really happens. And then when something actually happens to that person years and years from now, everybody wants to come out and say, yeah, 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 he did it to me. I'm like, I don't want to hear that shit. You should have said it back then.
Yeah,
But the more and more I think about it, if you have a powerful person
yeah.
that's telling you, look, this is how it's going to go, or else, you
Look,
know,
look what happened to
it,
Mace. What do you think about that? Because Mace came out and said something. He This is what Mace said. He said, "Now you see why I left. Like now, look, he had to go away." He said, "I wasn't into the to whatever all the stuff Diddy was doing." I think Cameron had said years ago, told a story. He went to go check Mace at Diddy's house, and he saw a dildo, and he's like, "Yo," and Mace was like, "Yo, that's Diddy stuff. That's that's Puff stuff." So like, and now Mace is saying, "Yo, he went away being in church, and he went away from the music and the rap, left the rap deals and all of that." So he's saying, "Look, like, look why I went away." So that's what he's saying. But I'm
it's a
like, did Mace, the thing with Mace, like you could have went to another record deal. You didn't have to like Puff. You didn't have to be around Puff. But
well, the
maybe
reason he couldn't is because he was tied into a contract. Like he had to do a certain amount of albums before he could walk away.
eventually he came back and he made a little music. The album,
Yeah, I think
you
he
know,
didn't. I think by the time
yeah,
he was able to do that, he was like, you know
yeah.
what, I don't like this
Bro,
the
like
contracts.
you got to get better lawyers or something. Like if you want, I think both sides. Why Diddy would say, "All right, I don't want to make music for you anymore, Diddy, but I want to make music. How do I get out this contract? What we got to do to satisfy both parties?" It's a mutual thing. Diddy gonna say? I don't think Diddy would say, "If you don't make music for me, you don't make music at all." It's possible he say that, but I don't think a lot of people would say that. Like, bro, I want to make music. I just don't want to make music for you. How do I get out these contracts? How do I make our contract satisfying?
You gotta have the money and resources. A lot
Yeah,
of people that
but
are
the point is though, like if I don't make music, then you don't eat. Like as a record company, like I if you it doesn't benefit me for you not to make music. So by me suffocating you and say, okay, if you don't make music for my record company, don't make music at all. Like, okay, I'm not gonna make music at all. Okay, we're not gonna make music. Like, bro, like let's both continue.
that's just like saying to a credit card company, look, man, I don't want to stay with you because your interest rates are too high. Well, you still gotta pay to get out. You know, we're not gonna just say, okay, you can just you can go somewhere else. You can, but you still gotta pay me. You still owe me.
Well, that's a good example. That fits my point. There's ways to get out the credit card. You could file for bankruptcy. You could you could do a payoff from a settlement. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying there shouldn't be a result where you decide, all right, I'm not gonna do anything. And both parties don't do anything.
We come from, and I think a lot of people, this will tie to why people didn't point fingers, and if they did, they point little side jabs or subliminals that you just got to figure out. You can't. We come from an era where we don't point fingers. So I think that's why people didn't say nothing, is because if we did, you look weak and you look like a snitch. So they say, you know what, it'll come to the light. So even when you said, but the dildo thing, he didn't say, Puff is gay as fuck, bro. He's the one and did it on live. He just said that's Puff. Now, in my eyes, if I'm not there, I can either assume, yeah, he's gay, or he was doing some freaky shit and put that in a girl and not in himself. So I didn't really listen that hard back then. I was listening to some of the rumors.
All the signs were there. All the signs. If we look back at it, the way he danced or whatever,
they're clear now, but it's like
it's a lot of gay and drug stuff. Like, I don't really care what you do in your personal life, to be honest with you. But now when you start breaking the law and having young kids involved, if you're doing criminal activities, you got to pay the price. I don't care who you are. Like, everybody should pay the price. I like Bill Cosby, but if he did that way back in the day, hey, you got to pay the price.
The crazy thing is that some of these allegations for certain people won't hurt their career or new people's careers in the future. For example, I know your boy, you like him, Will Smith. There's rumors about him being gay and doing gay acts.
I don't care about
the problem with him is he portrays a straight man and say he is. But if he would have came out now, like today's day, and blew up as a gay man or bisexual man, people probably would more accept it than they would have when he first came out in the early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah.
He would have, his career would have ended instantly. So he had to portray straight man, family man.
We don't know if he's gay, but go ahead.
There's a lot of people pointing. Anyway, we talking about Diddy, right? We talking about Diddy. I've not seen Diddy penetrate somebody, and I don't. So these are still allegations until all the facts are pointed out, because a lot of people want to jump on a bandwagon, get their likes up, get their following up by saying, yeah, I saw him. Did you really see him? Why didn't you say something back then?
You know what? I mean? You know what? How I look at things. I've been looking at things lately. Like, if someone that whoever, like the individual is, right? Just imagine an individual that don't know how to act, and then he gets like millions, billions of dollars, actually. Mm-hmm. Like, how you think he's gonna act when he get all that money? Like, if you like arrogant and you throw millions and millions of dollars,
that too.
And how, you know, like, we
That's
see
the
a lot of
problem
these
with the
rap, bro.
industry.
I see a lot of these rappers, and I see them. I'm like, bro, like I don't know if it's just me getting old. I know you got a lot of money. I'm not even studying the money like that, but it's like you don't know how to act, bro. Like in public, in ghetto or whatever, and you have all these jewelry and pants sagging, and like to me, you don't look. I'm a black. From the urban community. I'm black. I'm from where you're from, and I don't have all that money. But like if I did, I wouldn't be on TV with a whole bunch of jewelry and gold. It's like, bro, you just magnifying who you were, right?
Well, that's because of where we come from. Even the people that are not in the limelight and cameras, when they get money, the first thing they do is flash it. I mean, I'm a guilty party of it too. I came from the hood where as soon as I got a little bit of money, I bought the car with rims, I bought gold chain, all this other stuff, um, clothes, all this other stuff. Even now, I bought the house. I'm not saying it's flashy. That's probably the most smartest investment that I've done. But we're not taught in the urban community on how, or if we are in school, it is not stressed enough of how to manage money and what to
Yeah,
do with it.
yeah,
It's
but
now that we're trying to,
yeah,
do
we're
that.
definitely not taught, but we know the information is out there, so we
Right.
we, we need to seek it. We know it's there, and
And
I just
we,
think a lot of people look foolish on TV, with all of that money, or don't know how to act. That's
right.
the point with Diddy. Like Diddy, he worked hard for his success. I ain't gonna lie, Diddy, he's a go getter. He's a hustler. Like I'll take nothing away from how hard he worked. I see his actions. And I see the work that he put in. I'm not taking that away. I'm just the only point I'm stressing is if he was an asshole with $0, he's an asshole with $100 million 100 times. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever his actions were, now he has the resources, the money to indulge, right? So if he like young kids or for whatever he is, or even with the women, he feel like he has so much money and power, he could tell a woman what they should be doing. I think 50 Cent, I don't know if you know, but 50 Cent's baby mother, um, I think her name is Daphne.
Mhm.
She was dating Diddy, and there's reports that she's named in the allegations as far as being a sex worker. So 50 Cent, he has no chill, bro. He posting stuff online all the time. I follow him, and he keep referring to her as little sex worker. And he's like, man, you wanted to leave me to go be a little sex worker? Like he just kept on posting stuff, and every post he make, even if it's not related to her, at the end he said, at least he's not a little sex worker. Like he's just, you know, calling her a sex worker. So I don't know how true it is, but it's like Diddy, not Diddy, 50 is adding to it,
Mhm.
calling his baby mother a little sex worker. So it's not just little boys, it's not just men. You know, I feel so far without making too much judgment, like Diddy just had a lot of power and maybe
Mhm.
abused it. I don't know how much he abused it, but if he did anything illegal, he need to be held accountable and he need to pay for his actions. It's
Absolutely.
just like all of us. If we did anything
Right.
wrong, we'll get locked up. We have to pay for our mistakes. So if Diddy made any mistakes, I mean, the man got to pay for it. That's it. I don't care who you are.
So, real quick, and then we can move on to it. Did he do it?
The segment really is not about did he do it. I mean, I think he did it, but I'm not gonna get off the bus if the segment is are you getting off. I'm not getting off. First of all, I want to see where this goes. Definitely want to see where this goes. This is entertainment in itself,
No, what the problem
and
is that even when I saw your thing, and then we gotta move. Um, it's I feel bad because I feel like everybody that's in power, serious power, are getting dragged now.
if
And
it's rightfully so, bro. I mean,
no, but it's just
you can't get away with murder.
what we got to do is be better taught. Everybody that is in power has come from nothing, and we are taught and idolized by people who brag about what they have. R. Kelly, He's a guilty party, and he's a guilty party. He actually did what he did. Now we got Diddy, and the next one they feel like is going to be Jay-Z.
I
I
hope not.
hope. And well, but I'm gonna tell you why. Is because they trying to like look for something because he was around R. Kelly, and he saw all of these things, and nothing was said and done. But I feel like I'm gonna give him a half a pass only because from where we come from, if we even see something, they say something, but now you're a snitch, and now you got the streets gunning for you.
Yeah.
So nothing's gonna change. Now you got somebody in power that you just snitched on. It's like, okay, I got you.
I'm
You ain't even
comfortable.
gonna see what's up.
I'm comfortable in saying Jay-Z, LeBron James, those guys are not going to be taken down. I believe it will hurt me.
Just
It
because
will
you
hurt me if
like
they were.
these people
Yeah,
does
yeah.
not mean that they
I
gonna
don't
get
know
the
any
pass.
of them personally, but the way they've been moving, they haven't dropped signs like Diddy. And the only signs you're pointing to is the affiliation with someone that did something. Like you said, Jay is from the streets of like no snitching. I ain't gonna rat on you or what you do in your personal life. Like Jay's about getting money. He ain't really about even if he's partying with you. He's partying about it's an event that's probably leading to more money.
I can't go way back when, but there's rumors about him and Foxy, and Foxy was underage when he was messing with her. Even with Beyonce, Jay met Beyonce when she was underage too.
But what's underage? What's the age? Because when Beyonce came out,
legally,
she wasn't
you have
a
to be
teenager.
over. You have to be. I think you have to be 21 or 18.
What was the age? We could look it up. I mean, we could take a minute and look it up. What was the age Destiny's Child came out? Like, do you know? I mean, do you think there was teenagers?
I don't know for sure. You know what?
I don't know for sure.
We're talking about Diddy. We can look that shit up later, man. We got to move on. What was the
next show? Hey, next one is on you, man. So you take the lead with that one.
All right. The next one's on me now. Oh, fuck, bro. Are we talking about the movie?
Movie night.
Yes, movie night. Movie night segment was The Terminal. I was laughing to myself when you was like, "Yeah, this shit better be good." Well, the reason I picked that when I first thought of it, because I thought about that on the fly, I couldn't really think of anything. But I did see that one recently, and it had, first of all,
thought about it on the fly, bro. We had all week to prepare for this
because I really didn't see no movie. It was been a rough week for me.
Go ahead.
End of the month, you got to do some things, man. Make some money. But anyway, Tom Hanks stars in this one about him wanting to visit the United States, and he couldn't because of his paperwork, whatever. So they kept him stuck at the terminal. He didn't want to go home, get on that plane, and they would not let him leave the terminal.
Let me tell you, because I only watched the first like 10 minutes and I dropped out.
Oh, man, you can't.
Yeah, I couldn't go on. But
in the first 10 minutes, by yourself?
Nah, my wife, we couldn't. It was going I checked the time, so 2 hours left. Where we going in 2 hours? Like, what's happening right now?
All right.
But the part that let me tell you, the only little part that I know, just a little correction. When he got to the United States, when he got to the airport, it wasn't really something wrong with his paperwork. It was something happening in his country, and he was like stuck in limbo when it comes to his paperwork because basically his country got overthrown. Yeah, his government got overthrown, and they're not letting anybody in the country or on the plane or whatever from that country. But he was already on the plane, so whatever happened, he was already on the plane when it happened. So now it's like his paperwork is like, bro, you don't really belong to any country because that country no longer exists, and you don't belong to the United States. So where do you belong? So they trying to just get him out the terminal. That's the part that he won't leave, and I turned it off after that. So
so the part that you caught was nothing to do with why I brought this movie
Yeah,
up.
I would imagine.
It was a lot to unpack. But during the movie, if you'd watch, you turned it off just when it was getting to the part where I needed you to see.
When he was trying to get with the girl.
Catherine Jetta Jones, I think that's her name, started the movie as well.
The flight attendant.
She's flight attendant, flying all over the place, and she would come and meet her boyfriend just for a quick interaction, sex, dinner, movie, and then she got to get back to being a flight attendant. Problem with that is that he was leading another life, has a family, and had no intentions of leaving, but he was just doing I got money, I got this, I'm going to leave her. False promises, which a lot of men do, or a lot of people in power do. The reason I brought that up is because we have a problem as a world, as a community, of picking the wrong people. There's a lot of people out there that will have families with somebody and realize that they didn't want to have a family with them, and will venture out instead of sticking with that family or the decision that they originally made, which making that family, go out and find somebody else. Now, there's two people at fault. This woman that does not know how to make the right decisions on picking her man, and the husband who is still in the relationship playing around. And we will be blinded by whatever that person that they're attracted to has, and there's somebody that's perfect for them right in front of them. That guy, Tom Hanks, was attracted to her, and even kind of like through signs that you should be with this person. I like you. We should be together. And he was fixing himself up. He went from stuck, had no money at the airport when he was hustling, even found his way around the terminal, got himself a job, fixed himself up, making money legally. And she still decided to go back with the one that wasn't right for her. That she's not going anywhere. So that's why I wanted you to watch the movie, Lex. It was a lot to unpack. And
So
there was other stuff.
That's how it ended.
Yes, and
So
how
it wasn't a happy end. It wasn't a happy ending.
No.
She went back with the guy.
She went back with the guy.
Damn.
So that was the moral of why I wanted to see it. But you had to watch the whole movie, and there was other things.
Did he ever get out the terminal?
Yes, legally, because the war ended or whatever.
Okay,
but
so he stayed there until the war ended.
Yeah. So what happened was when the war ended and he was legally able to leave, he bumped into her and was like, "I'm leaving. Come with me." And she said, "I'm not for you. I'm going this way. You're doing the right thing, but I can't seem to do the right thing." It's basically what she said. She didn't say it in those words, but that's what she said. She was able to identify she was doing the wrong thing though. But I think that was all movie, dialogue.
Well, I know someone that told me one time, like, man, this girl said, like, she's the one, this girl's the one for me. And it's like, I wish I would have met her sooner, right? Like, I wish I would have met her sooner, but she's not at the point in her life that she's not right for you, really. You think she's right for you, but she has to get right. So she has to go through these bad relationships in order to like find herself. And then when she's ready, she's gonna be perfect for the man that's ready for her. Like, he's ready, but she's not ready. So even if she would have went with him, she probably would have moved on. Like, she's not ready to settle down. She's not ready for the relationship that he's ready for. So it's a lot of real life situations and a lot of people. When you find that person, even though that person has the past, if she never went through that past, she would never be ready for you or the one for you, because it's like that molded her into who she is. That makes her perfect for you, and she's not gonna leave you because she's been through. If she didn't see the bad relationships or being involved in the bad relationship, she wouldn't know what a good one looks like.
Exactly.
That's the bar.
And that's
Yo,
and that's it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna move on to the last segment. You
Go
got
ahead.
something
Go.
else?
No, no,
All
no,
right.
no, 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 no.
Nah,
That was
nah,
good. That was a good summary of what
yeah.
what really happened in the movie without you seeing it. Is that some people they just can't see what's right in front of them
I
that they're
saw. I
supposed
saw
to
10
be.
minutes. I saw 10 minutes. I
Yeah.
tried, bro. It needs to go a little faster next time
All
because
right.
I
And
checked
next
2 hours.
time,
I'm
and,
like,
and next
shit.
time I'll pick a
Pick.
newer movie.
God damn it. Pick a
Yeah,
newer movie.
I
Yeah.
will. I
Yes.
will. I
Jesus
will.
Christ,
I
bro.
will. But
Like
it just
2004. Like what?
yeah,
Tom
it
Hanks.
just spoke to me
Yeah.
in so many different levels of
I
what
feel you, man.
we do go through, and I
Yeah.
think nothing that's out right
Yeah.
now.
For your mind to go to that state, that's impressive to me. I ain't gonna lie. Like just to tie that together and bring whatever you want out of it from a movie in 2004. I know you didn't watch it recently.
I did. I watched it not
Why
this
you go
week.
back and watch? You rewatched it, or like
No, it
why
was
you
on.
picked that?
It was
So that was the
on.
first time you saw it,
No. I saw it years ago, but it was on, and I was just going through
and you will
stations.
watch. I cannot go back and watch an old movie like that.
No,
The only
I
reason
didn't
why I was
go.
doing it because you told me and I couldn't get through it.
I didn't. I didn't.
Like,
I didn't
and
say
why would
in
you
my
do that?
head. I didn't say in my head. I want to see the terminal. I was going through stations, and it
No,
was already on.
like oh, so you watch like live TV?
Yes, it was already on though.
So commercials and everything.
No, this is. I got the
Where you
fire stick,
watching
bro.
this from?
The fire stick. It was already
We're on
on.
it wasn't live then.
Yeah, it was.
How was it live without commercials?
They have HBO, Cinemax, all these other stations.
All right, let's move on. I gotta ask you off the air, like, how does
I can
that
watch
even
without
happen?
commercials. There's other
If it's
things other
live,
than just commercials.
if it's live, it should have commercials,
No,
but
if
or
you
ads, what they call it.
nah, come on, man.
All
We
right,
on
man.
another level, man. We got
Nah,
we
I
got we
don't know
got
what you're doing, man.
HBO, we got uh Peacock, all this other stuff.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Last segment
Netflix.
is
Yeah, go ahead.
homework time, man. Homework time. We have
Oh
homework, man. I
fuck,
know
man.
you don't like this
I
last
don't. I
period,
didn't like.
last
First of
hour.
all, I didn't like homework in high school. What
No,
makes you think
nobody.
I'm gonna want to do? Go ahead. What's the homework, man?
So again, back to the basically tie into the topic, man. Just been. I feel personally, I feel like I've been struggling lately, and I wanted to take the rest of the year, like I said, to reinvent myself, become someone new. I feel like I need to become someone new.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the person who I am or was or whatever is good, but like I just feel like I need to become someone new. That's just a feeling I have inside of me.
Right.
So the assignment is to find a mentor. It's gonna be a little challenging. And it's not just the assignment for us, it's for the audience as well, right? So I was listening to an audiobook, I forgot the name, but it was a pastor that wrote the book, and he wasn't right within himself. This is a pastor. He was a pastor at the time, and he wasn't right. Like he felt like everybody was telling him around you, like you need to go talk to someone because he was just doing a lot, and it was affecting him. And he said he reached out to someone that he knew was financially older than him by like 10 years. Like he wasn't necessarily older or 10 years older, but he knew like financially he was ahead of him like by like 10 years. He just came up with that number. So he reached out to someone to help him. Like if you don't, like we talked about, there's a lot of stuff we don't know. So again, I would like you, me, the audience, to find someone to mentor them. It could be work related, financially related. It could be the gym related, physically related. Finding someone to mentor you. Like you work out, but you don't really know all the different, that's called a trainer, but you don't necessarily have to go pay for a trainer. You could just say, hey, can you mentor me? In whatever aspects is. And I have someone in mind, and I wanted to tell you before, give you time to think about who you may ask.
Okay.
But
Do I know the person that you picked?
you don't know, and it's been like 2 weeks, and I've been trying to get enough courage to ask him or be in the right situation to where we were like one on one. I don't want to ask him in a room full of people. He told me no. But it's someone I work with, but it's my building manager, site manager, or your GM.
What did you ask him? How did you approach him?
I didn't ask him, and I haven't approached him yet.
Oh shit!
But I want to, and I want to say I don't want him to mentor me work wise. I don't care about that work ain't gonna make me a millionaire. But I feel like
what make you pick him?
I'm about to tell you.
Right. Go ahead. Not bad.
So I feel like he's 10 years older than me financially. Okay. I feel like I've talked to him before, and I know his kids are some of them are starting college. So I know he's ahead of me financially. I don't know his finance. I don't know if he's struggling financially, but I know he's ahead of me, and I feel like he's financially ahead of me.
How do you figure that if you don't know?
I don't know his personal thing.
That's how you know.
I just feel like he is, because he's when I talk to him, he's very put together. He's very educated. He seemed like he knows what he's doing. When I just talked to him about little things, like I said, I've spoken to him, and his kids are like going to college and stuff like that. He was telling me his daughter went somewhere in there with, like, you don't do that without funds. You know what I mean? So I know he should be. I don't know, but I'm gonna ask.
All right, before you just ask, you need to do a little bit more homework on him. Ask him little things, about his situation before you just automatically assume that he's good. And I'll tell you why. I'm in sales. We had this guy that came in very well mannered, put together, looked like he had money. He Ubered or took a cab to the dealership and said, I want a car. We thought it was going to be a great sale, and then when you Uber to a dealership, they need a car. They don't want to Uber back home. They plan on driving a lot in the car. Dude came in, credit was $395. Yeah. So his whole mindset was like, if I look the part, they will internally take my deal. They can trust me. But the problem is the dealership is not the bank. We submit the deals to the bank. So once we couldn't get him approved, he had to go home. And you know what he said? I don't have no money to get home. Can anybody take me home?
Yeah. That's definitely not my situation. And I've worked with him a lot. And if I'm going to ask him, to be a mentor, I'm not going to ask him any personal questions, like interview him why he should be my mentor. But definitely just by all the conversations that we've had, he's a man that I would inspire to be. Like,
okay,
I would
so
look up to. So
he said some small little money things where you said, okay,
not necessarily like his position of power is just alone a black man who's in a position of power. Like, he's over the whole entire place. So just that alone is an inspiration to me. Whenever I just see him without even uttering a word, I look at him with respect, admiration, and just the conversations that we've been having. This is over 2 years, so like and I feel like I need this. Like, I need you.
I mean, you can get that done without just having more conversations with him. You can get free conversation.
I wanna. We don't do this enough, bro. Like, we know people, that's black people especially. We know a few, not many, that are successful, right? In whatever aspect, doing well, but we don't pick their brains. Even me and you, like, we know each other, but certain areas I might be ahead of, certain areas you might be ahead of, but we never really go into details or ask each other for help, right?
Right.
We don't do that. Black people, especially, we know people. He passed away, but I had a rich uncle. Never asked him anything, like, about how you got here, what do you do, can you help me get knowledge in that area. You know this. We don't ask each other for help. And that's all I'm saying. We need to like definitely change that narrative and help each other. So as a black man that's in a position of power, I feel alone. That alone, I want to reach out to him for help. Quickly, there was an episode of Seinfeld where George, Jerry was dating a girl, and the girl said, "I can't date you no more because she lost her mentor." And he was like, "I'll tell you what to do." Like, nah. And then George heard the conversation and he ran down and said, "Where you going, George? I'll be back." He went to go be her mentor. Sometimes you need somebody to tell you what to do. It might sound weird, but sometimes you get to a point in your life where you feel like nothing is working for you. Everything you're doing is wrong, and you just need someone to run things by and ask questions so you can have a better understanding of things and make better decisions. And that's where a mentor will come in. And that's the guy who I want to reach out to. I haven't got enough courage, which I'm not scared. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. But it's been 2 weeks now that I've been eyeing him, been trying to say, all right, when he's alone, when I could approach and ask.
Once you take him to lunch.
All right, it's not like that, bro. But
let's. I'm not saying in a
way. I don't have his contact. I don't have his thing. It's just we just talk at work and that's it. So maybe once I asked him to be my mentor, maybe we could go to lunch. But it's not. We don't have that relationship to where, hey, let's go to lunch. I'll come to my house.
Make sure you hit him with the no diddy.
Most situations with management, you're not allowed to. I don't know what's the proper word, but basically, you can't, like, if I wanted to play basketball with him, and like in my wife's job, they're not allowed. Management is not allowed to play basketball or have with their, they're not allowed to do that. So I don't know if this is something that's allowed or not. So I want to make sure I ask them in private. And if it's no, it's no. Or if that's the reason, that's the reason.
Nah, business lunch. And he probably would take you out because he probably can write the shit off depending on what type of how he gets paid.
We'll see if I even ask the question, but I want to, and I think I need that, especially in my year of redefining myself, reinventing myself. I want to definitely become better. So if he's ahead of the game with me, I want to ask someone. I think we all should do that more often. So especially as black men, we have the information in front of us. We don't ask. Is a thing in the Bible that says we have not because we ask not. So it's like a lot of times we don't have it because you just don't ask the question. You don't ask for it.
That's absolutely. Why we don't have it.
So absolutely. Who would
I'm probably gonna do the same thing what you did. I mean, I got
man, this thing always
no.
No, I'm
talking about the person. I'm talking about the person.
I know, but like, bro, we just took me back to high school days when like I finished my homework. Let me see your paper, man. You just copying my answers. Go ahead, man.
No, I'm not going to I'm not going to your boss. I'm gonna go to my boss.
I know.
And first of all, I had every now and again I try to pick up on a mentor, even when I was in New York. One of the jobs, I'm not gonna say what it was. When I was about to have a baby, I took his advice and he gave me sound advice. He was like, I told him, I said, "Hey, I'm about to have a baby. I don't want it. I don't want to have no kid." And he said, "No, you got to do the right thing. You got to be there for him." And he was just telling me certain things. The way he said it made so much sense. And his position of power made me think, okay, well, he must know what he's talking about. He has his own business. So, and this was a long time ago, when my daughter wasn't even born yet. So I do have somebody in mind, somebody that's easier to approach and seems like he wants to mentor me if I needed to. Or that could be just a sign of, because I am the new kid on the block in this place of business where I work. He wants to make sure I don't leave because I'm a good asset to the company. But we're gonna find out because I will pick his brain. That's gonna be my homework. If I can think of somebody else that I would want to pick a brain, that I will definitely do that.
And this is gonna force me to definitely get enough courage and ask him. But I'm hoping by next episode, I'll tell you what happened, and you tell me what happened. Even if it's a yes or a no, even if it's a no, obviously, we'll talk about it. I have a feeling that he'll probably steer me in another direction. I just have a feeling he's not gonna want to do it.
Well, the way your schedules work, it's not going to be like a day-to-day thing where he can constantly mentor you. It's going to be like when y'all both have time at the moment. I don't think it's going to be.
It don't even have to be at work, but it could be where it's like, hey, once a week, come to my office for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. It's like it could happen. It's nothing.
Is he in shape, dude?
He's built like a linebacker, so it's not.
Don't you invite him to play ball with you?
He built like a linebacker. Football is a sport. And I've known it's funny because I don't know if I should say this, but they have with management, they have their own league that they play in against other managers and other buildings or other companies. They play flag football, but they can't invite us because we're not management.
Right.
So
well, ask him, hey, you want to come with me on this day, shoot around.
Bro, just to play ball. Every time you talk, I'm thinking about Seinfeld, man.
Stop mentioning Seinfeld,
the episode where the baseball player.
You told me to stop picking bad movies
from the Mets.
Oh my god!
And like, it's like a date. Like, ask him out. He call like, bro.
Look, first of all, that's not a date. If I'm going to play basketball in a public,
it's like just asking him to go play with you. But I'm not. I just want him to mentor me, bro. Like, it's just not work related necessarily. But I mean, I could. Who knows where that will lead? But I'm not really looking for work to advance in my employment.
Right.
I'm looking to advance in my financial state.
Well, that's what you got to mention to him too. And
I will definitely.
Like what I want. The way you approach him is only going to make you look more attractive for the company. He's like, oh, you know what? This guy is taking initiative to want to advance himself.
That's how I approach him all the time. Like they know me, like how I am. I'm straight and direct. Like I always say, don't ask me if you don't really want to know, because I'll tell you the truth. I don't care who you are. Matter of fact, we had a big thing at the job one time where there was restructuring a shift, and he led the meeting, and after it was a very thing, and he came to me, he was like, what do you thought about it? And I was giving him an earful of what I thought. And then when somebody else came, he's like, man, Locksley already told me. He was like, like he know I don't hold back. From day one, I speak my mind. I don't care who you are. Like I don't put anyone below me, and I don't put anyone above me. So I feel that he is financially ahead of me, and I want to seek that advice. But just I don't like, my head down type of thing. I try to meet you where you're at. And I think I could talk to anybody, so I'm not intimidated by anybody's position. So that's our homework, and that's your homework too, man. So hoping everyone could kind of like feel what we're saying with that. Like we're doing it just to try to better ourselves, and we're hoping you could better yourself. And especially as Black men, we don't really seek help. And honestly, I feel like I need it, man. Again, I don't want to go back to Seinfeld, but I feel like I need it. I need someone to tell me what to do at this point. So,
let's do it. Let's get off the bus and let's get the homework done.
Last stop.
Yes, sir.
See you on the next one.